Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing Ninja Gaiden 2 on the Xbox Series X, and this is my Master Ninja Difficulty Gaiden walkthrough. We're currently on Chapter 7 of 14. It is entitled The Flying Fortress Daedalus. So this first part is kind of tedious. There's two turrets, two big turrets in the middle, and there's 8 of them. So I choose to destroy 7 on this side and then 1 on the other side. You can do 4 and 4, or any combination that will get you up to 8, and then there's also two turrets on either side, 2 smaller ones that you'll take out, and you're going to be introduced to the executors on this particular chapter. So and the riot mechs, they're both very weak. Again, not really weak, but they're susceptible to the scythe, but since we just got it in the last chapter, we can't upgrade it quite yet because we don't have access to the store. But the executor, you can't OT this enemy, and it's difficult to do charges on it because it does a machine gun fire, which can melt your health, and it shoots rockets. So there's a couple of nice spots that you can go to. But you are going to notice a pretty severe jump cut in the next couple of seconds, because once you take out these turrets over here, you're going to get a cutscene, and then the executors are going to come for you. So you can stand behind the barricades that you start out near if you want to, or you can throw a Nimpo. There's a Nimpo replenishment chest in the next area too that you can use on these ones. I think these ones are worth somewhere around 1,000 or thereabouts on a base level without any additional combo points. But there's like there's about 9 of these ones, and I went through this chapter and I just wasn't satisfied with it, so I am going to be pretty reckless and cavalier in going through this chapter, because you'll notice that I'm charging off essence when I should just absorb it and get more essence and more money and that sort of thing. So I did kind of just speed through this chapter, but I got some pretty good results. I did get a no damage fight on the armadillo, but he's very weak to the incendiary shuriken, so you'll definitely want to have those. So over at Miramassa's, we're going to upgrade our scythes to level 3, and I also chose to upgrade the Kasarigama to level 3 as well. You don't need to have that weapon, but it's okay on Genshin with the jumping Y attack. So I'm going to incorporate it into that fight amidst a bunch of other strategies. But now we have the level 3 scythe, and this is definitely what you want to have if you're dealing with the riot mechs. The riot mechs are OTable, which is nice. And with the level 3 scythe, one UT will, depending on where you hit them, it will usually take their face off and then you OT them, or it will take off one of their limbs and then you OT them. But they're extremely aggressive. They're kind of like Wolf in that they just constantly attack you with physical hits, and it's kind of difficult to get in a hit. So you're gonna really need to incorporate iframes with the dash to get near them and OT them. They're very deadly. Both of the new enemies, the executors and the riot mechs, they have an explosion, and it doesn't damage you, but it breaks your guard, and if something else hits you, you're gonna get killed pretty much, especially from the riot mechs. I really like that throw with the Kasarigama. Did you see that? It's called the Shrike Drop, and if memory serves, it's XXX forward, hold X. These enemies are difficult to practice moves on because of their perpetual stun locking capability, and kind of a nuisance of an enemy. But I guess they don't throw they don't throw incendiaries. So this is an herb of spiritual life, and then this is some variation of it's a mushroom. Now there is a possibility to exploit these executors that are coming up. I call it the executor exploit. And what you can do is when you open the door up here, when it lets you, after you kill these enemies, you kill the first two with the scythe, preferably up here. And then if you want to fall back in the way that we came and kill the other two, go back and save it, you can do that perpetually. But you definitely you don't need to do that. Getting a 50 hit combo just on one enemy and getting a UT will get you 1200 essence. So you can definitely do that. What I choose to do over here, though, by the Life of the Gods box, is I kind of hide in this corner, and it pacifies them a little bit and lets them walk right up to me. But I did want to mention that, so if you are hurting for essence, you can do that. You just have to be careful, though, that the door that they can't come out of, you don't want to go anywhere near that door or through that door. Otherwise, you'll cause the executors to not spawn perpetually. So what happens is you go back and save it, and then the door is closed again, and then you can open and repeat the process. But anytime you run up to it and the door is open, you've not done it right, and it won't work anymore. So here's the first introduction to the riot mech over here. As you're going down the lift, one UT will, if released at the proper time, it will take off his face, and then you just OT it. But you've got to be careful because these enemies will probably be on you pretty quick, and if your guard is getting broken by the explosion of the riot mech, and then something else hits you, you're going to be seriously in want of health. And when you come back through this area, this is a pretty difficult fight with some more riot mechs. The claws and the tonfa, those weapons both outright kill the riot mechs. Even the tonfa's ET will, I believe it just outright kills the riot mechs, but the claws in particular have a propensity of whiffing their OT, and if that happens, it's very difficult to just jump in their vicinity and charge and attack because of their gunfire and their rockets, and you're dealing with more than one over here, quite a bit in fact. So it's right over here. If you want to, you can charge with the talons, or the lunar's pretty good too. It will delimb them, but you'll get multiple delimbs with the scythe. And it can be kind of difficult dealing with this enemy because sometimes it's difficult to ascertain if one of them is delimbed, and when there's so many of them working on you. They also have a projectile too, and they can fly to the top of the screen and jump on you, and that jump is just devastating. These guys are worth quite a lot too. I think they're worth somewhere around 1,000 to 1,200. But if you want some advice over here, you can hide behind these pillars over here. But just remember, they get on you pretty fast, and if you need to go back and save it now, you can. Just be careful. There's one fight that's coming up that's pretty difficult with Genshin, and he's got we haven't seen him since chapter 2. I don't believe. There's 4 times you fight him, 3 in his normal form and 1 in his fiend form. But he's got a lot more lackeys than he had last time, and they're the same ones. They're the IS ninjas. And So strategies for Shigenshin. I know we're not on him quite yet, but the Lunar XXY takes off a hell of a lot of damage to him, and the claws you can use forward Y, and just hit him until he blocks and then back off. You can do the Tonfa's rotate Y. You can do the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang rotate Y. You can do, and like I said, the Kasarigama. You can do the jumping Y attack. Now, you never want to jump anywhere near Genshin because he has that anti-air attack where he'll do an aerial dash at you. And it has some pretty long range too, so sometimes it's easy to underestimate how far away is safe to where you can jump around him. And now you might say, well, you just said don't jump around him, and then you're introducing a jumping Y attack with the Kasarigama. How that works is that you wait for him to do his move, and that will give you enough time to do a jumping Y attack. And it's fairly safe. I'm just not the greatest proponent of that particular move. Not because I just haven't used it that much, and I don't use the weapon very much. But definitely, we're also going to get the Piercing Void in this chapter too, and it's right next to the site of a Test of Valor, which has Executors and Bone Scorpions, and it can be a pretty rough trial because of the way the Scorpions stun lock you and the explosions of the Executors. The reward for the Test of Valor is a Jewel of the Demon Seal, so you'll want to try to go for that, and then upgrade the Void to level 2, and then if you are following directly in my footsteps, that would give you the Void and the Wind Blades to level 2, and then keep the Inferno at level 3. It's quite helpful for just getting some guaranteed kills. But at the end of this area over here, there are some bazooka sniper enemies. So if you just stand behind this corner over here, you can snipe them all. And ordinarily, just let the essence come into you before you release your charge, because then you don't get all the money, obviously. But I'm just trying to go through this chapter quickly. But it's not to sacrifice the quality or anything like that. So in here is the save point, and then on pretty much all these fights, you can just spawn the enemies and then just fall back and charge attacks. I think you can unspawn these sniper enemies too. So jumping, shooting, and then getting an on-landing ET into them is good advice. It's just that sometimes in my experience, a lot of times actually your arrow gets intercepted by their rocket, and then that just cancels the two out, and they don't take any damage. So the rockets, surprisingly, they can be blocked. They don't take off any damage. They guard break you, but they don't take any damage off you. So get as close to them as you possibly can. Dash over to them. Use your iframes from the dash. Use your iframes from the guillotine throw. And then when you get in range, use the flying swallow Izuna drop with the talons. And the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang is really good for getting long-winded combos too. If you want to get high combo points, it's, I would say, pretty good. I mean, not. I don't know if it's as better than, if it's even better than the Tonfa, but it can really rack up the combo points quickly. So there's a couple more snipers over. Yeah, these guys can definitely, if you don't want to fuss with these guys, I wouldn't blame you. So there's a couple of enemies coming up over here. This bunk room's empty, so just go in here, and then it's going to dissolve into a cutscene, and then, well, not cutscene, just a fade in or fade out. Excuse me. Charge your charge your scythe. The scythe has a rotate Y UT as well, which is pretty darn good at dealing with smaller enemies like the dogs. So anytime there's dogs, we'll probably avail ourselves of that UT. As you leave this room, don't forget the cache of essence in here. You don't want to do that. You want to absorb the essence. And then up here, you've got a chest with the lives of 1,000 gods, and then also a chest with either bats or 1,000 in essence. So this chest over here, I would hold off on getting that because you, unlike me, you might get the bats. So you'll want to go into the next room, save it, and then repeatedly come back into this room until you do get the money. Unless you're trying to get essence, like red essence. And then in the room over to the left, that's where the Test of Valor is. Again, all the Tests of Valor can be viewed through the link that I've put in the description for the Tests of Valor themselves. So don't forget to pick this up over here. And then upgrade that to level 2 after you do the Test of Valor. And then down here, also, remember earlier when I was at the shop, I purposely didn't buy arrows or incendiary shurikens just because there's an infinite cache of both down here. So don't forget about that. And then this room down here, it connects with the room that we were in the early part of the video, right after we went to the first shop and then came into this place. So this chest over here, it'll either be opened or not, depending on if you've opened it earlier. I have no use for this, so I'm just going to ignore this essence over here. But we do have the Tonfa at level 1 right now, and we're gonna use the Tonfa on the riot mechs over here. But you see how the rockets and the arrows, they cancel each other out. So you've just got to do it as quickly as you can and keep working with it until you actually hit the body of the enemy. So switch to the Tonfa over here, and then let the mechs come in. Let a couple of them come in, and then this UT killed all of them. I'm not even sure how many there are. They're like 3 or 4. That was a lot of money right there. Okay, so the reason I don't have the Dragon Sword upgraded is because it upgrades to level 4. And I know the Blade of the Archfiend does too, but not until the very end of the game. Okay, so when you hit the switch, I think there's 2 executors in this room. They're on this side. And you need to be careful because if you delay your charge, delay releasing your charge too soon, you can get shot up real quick by them. And this is the boss room as well. I think maybe there are three of them. You can kind of hit them through the pillar, but if it doesn't work, just let them kind of go around the corner a little bit as you release your charge. But like I say, this is the boss room, and it has arrows as well. So don't forget to pick those up. And you're not going to need any arrows on the first boss, but when you get to the second boss, I'm sorry, you're not going to need any incendiary shurikens. You'll definitely need them on the second boss, though. And it's pretty nice, though, because they not only do they give you a checkpoint, but they give you a health refill. So I always notice those things, like, and kind of wonder why sometimes they don't give you a health refill when you think that maybe you should have got one. Oh, over here though, try not to get hit because you are on a timer over here, and if you can just kill a few guys and not get hit, after you get to the first cutscene, there's a chest that you can take advantage of and get. Oh, that right there is called the River Styx Azuna drop with the scythe, and it's a hard. I can't get it to work very often, but it's XXX forward, XX hold Y when you're hitting the enemy, so it's pretty involved. And anytime I say forward Y just means whatever direction the enemy is in relation to you. If he's at 6 o'clock, then you would hold the analog literally down at 6 o'clock. But yeah, that's all forward Y means. But you are on a timer, and it's not a timer where you're gonna die if you don't do this quickly enough. It's they're just gonna take you out of the game and put you in a different spot. But if you can hold off on not getting hit, in fact, you don't even have to do this. I got pulled out of this. You're gonna see this right here. It's just gonna pull me out of it, and I'll be in an area outside of which there's a chest. And if you have max inventory of the herbs and full health, you can pick up 5,000. So that should be 5,000 right there. Otherwise, it's just blue orbs. Same goes for another chest that's coming up over here as well. It's a grains chest. So if you have max grains and any damage on you, don't pick up the box until you hit the last save. And we are pretty fast approaching the boss. There's another cutscene out here too. Don't worry, there's no snipers in this room, but this is a room where you might want to open the door and then jump back and charge your attack with the scythe and kill all of the tack ninjas before you enter this room, and then you would only have to deal with that bazooka guy. Because they'll all come after you. So if you want to open the door, jump back, charge, that will prevent you from getting completely ambushed. So open this door, and then there's going to be a couple guys running into the room over here. Our Tonfa should be at level 3 by now. The 360Y with this weapon is really terrific as well for dealing an incredible amount of damage. It's just on Genshin, his character model profile is not as wide as his Fiend profile is. The last version of him that you fight, the 4th of 4 fights that you do against him. So your hits are less likely to hit on the normal Genshin, but you can still hit him and it still works. It's just that on Fiend Genshin, your hits are going to hit more because he's got a wider hurt box. So we just passed the chest that has the grains in it. So we had damage on ourselves. So first we're going to have to heal if we want to take advantage of getting that 7,000. And then put the Inferno on and equip the incendiary shurikens so that you don't have to equip those every time you start the fight with the armadillo. And I like to start out with the lunar and do a couple of kind of foolhardy charges behind this pillar over here. Right over here. And I don't think it worked, but there's a lot of these lackeys. So what you want to do is get as many lunar ET kills as you possibly can, or UT kills. And if you are doing the UT with the lunar, try to do the tapping Y at the end of it so that you can get hopefully some splash damage with the last move that it does, the body slam move. Although I didn't get any that time. So sometimes you get a decent amount, sometimes you just don't get any. But you've got to really watch out for anytime you're near this guy, and you got to resist the urge to jump because he'll cut you down every time. He does not like you in the air. He definitely has a problem with you in the air. He doesn't want you flying or in an airplane anywhere. And I kind of have a problem with him having a problem with me in a plane, but that was just kind of the joke that was running through my mind on this guy. It is in locked camera position at first. So if you click in right bumper, it'll take that off. And then you can move the camera to any desired position, and then click in the RB button again if you're just fighting him, and then that'll give you a pretty good viewpoint of him. But like I say, try to get as many UTs and ETs as you can on the lackeys, and then the Inferno. If you have 3 uses of it, you should be guaranteed to get around 8 or 9 kills depending on what you hit. And if you have any more, go for that as well. So I'm going to use a couple of methods here just to demonstrate the different things you can do to this guy. Look how much that took away, though. The XXY. It's a very good amount of damage. Nothing to scoff at all. And I'm also going to equip this. So with this, you can, like I say, you can do the jumping Y attack. Just wait for him to do his move. And always be kind of in the back of your mind, he's got a dash that goes through your guard and almost outright kills you. So you got to be really careful of that. It's complete BS, and I hate that move. But after I demonstrate this, I'll probably switch to the Falcon's Talons, because I don't think I got a chance to demonstrate that method on the first form of Genshin. But all the Falcon's Talons move is just forward Y, and they call it hit confirming him. Basically, you're confirming that you hit him to give you the go ahead to hit him again, and if he blocks, that's not a hit confirm. So you want to stop at that point, because he'll retaliate, and when he retaliates, it's trouble for your health. Personally, I can't get many strings of hits on him with this. I think I get at max 3 hits with it, so I do definitely prefer to use the Lunar on this guy. And let's see what else can you use. Oh, I think I also switched to the Tonfa over here as well. So watch this 360Y. It's harder to hit him because he's a little narrower, or narrower, yeah, but wow, that's incredible amount of damage. Definitely nothing to scoff at as well. So if you want to use that move, that is a terrific amount of damage that you can deal this guy. The Tonfa has a problem whiffing on its OTs, though. And here's the Armadillo. This is why you want the Incendiary Shurikens. You can stun lock this guy. You can cancel out his Fire Breath. You can loop him like this. If he does go into rage mode like this, I think you might get a slight speed increase as he moves up to you. And if he grabs you, it's a long-winded bite animation that takes off a lot of damage. And remember when I said the Tonfa its OTs whiff a lot? Well, I just whiffed a couple times over there. I think he almost may have recovered over there. But that's just one of the banes of using that weapon. It really has a problem hitting its OT sometimes. But do not forget to block at the end of that, otherwise you'll be killed. So just block as you're exiting that fight, and then that is going to give you the inroad to Chapter 8. And as you see here, we did pick up the Master Ninja rank. I didn't even do the Test of Valor, and I still got the Master Ninja. So go figure. Sometimes you just get it, and it doesn't seem like you should. Otherwise, you really have to earn it by doing the Test of Valors. So that has been Chapter 7. I will see you in the 8th chapter. Until then, please take care.